Good morning, Ambitchious. I have some really titillating information for all of you today. I wanted to get on here because today is the last day that Mercury is in retrograde, and it's gonna get wild. The next 24 hours, you better put your rubber undies on. Because it's gonna get crunk, okay? What happens on the last day of Mercury retrograde? It's just like, have you ever been to a fireworks show and the fireworks are like going off a little bit at a time and you're like, oh, pretty. And then at the end it's like, da na 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 na, and it just goes crazy haywire. That's usually what happens the last day that Mercury is in retrograde. It just pushes you over the edge. So tomorrow, Mercury will actually station direct. And this is not like, let me go sign a bunch of contracts and let me go like communicate with people about things that I really shouldn't be communicating with people about. We have a shadow period after Mercury stations direct. So the shadow period of post Mercury retrograde usually lasts for about 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks, obviously start to reintegrate your life per usual. But don't get too, don't rock out with your cock out too hard and don't jam out with your clam out too hard. Be cautious about what is going on in your life. So make sure that you still are communicating in a very particular way. So if you're sending emails, if you're sending text messages, if you're having hard, difficult, uncomfortable conversations, if you are trying to negotiate for something, really make sure that you are prepared, make sure that you are on top of your game, and make sure that all of your T's are crossed and all of your I's are dotted when you're going through that communication, okay? But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is all of the other planets that are in retrograde right now. So everyone always just talks about Mercury retrograde, but they never really hit upon, unless you're really deep into astrology, people never really hit on the other retrogrades that are going on right now. And I want to just talk briefly about what's retrograding right now, how long it's retrograding, and what we should all be doing. So first of all, right now, and in the next couple months, we are going to have 4 planets in retrograde, okay? And then Mercury, what is still retrograding today, but stations direct tomorrow on June 3rd, is going to be retrograding again in September. So we're actually going to have, in that period from like September to October, we're going to have 5 planets in retrograde. But very soon we're going to have 4 planets in retrograde. The 4 planets that are going to be retrograde are Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So what does that mean? I'm here to tell you that if you are ready to go to the next level, if you are really ready to go to the next level and you are like, I am sick and tired of my shit, I am ready to go to the next level, I'm ready to live my best life, like enough of the bullshit, enough of the lies, enough of the old programming, enough of the matrix, enough of the stories that I've been telling myself about why I can't achieve something, why I can't do something, and why I can't live an ambitious life. No more excuses. Because the planets, how they're retrograding in the next couple months, are going to set us all up for incredible success if we take advantage of the energies. So I always say to my clients, when you know better, you do better. So I'm here warning you in the most lovely, kind way that I possibly can. I'm here to warn you that like wake up, because if you can harness the energies of the next year, your life is going to soar. You are going to go to the next level. You are going to truly just, I'm just like excited about it. Like I really am excited about it. I'm excited about it for all of you, but I'm also excited about it for myself, because I think the last 2 years we've been in a holding pattern, not just because of what's been going on in our world, but also energetically. So if you're ready to go to the next level, if you're ready to quit the bullshit, stop lying to yourself, and like just cut the cords and just really step into your power and remember who the fuck you are, this is the time. Okay. So number 1, Saturn, the big planet with the ring around it. So it's going to start retrograding on June 4th. So in 48 hours. Okay. So Saturn's going to go retrograde in 48 hours. and it's going to retrograde until October 23rd of 2022. And what is the energy that Saturn holds? So Saturn is all about discipline and structure. So discipline and structure. So if you're lacking discipline right now, if there's no rhyme and reason to your life, if you're just like, what am I doing? I'm like a plastic bag floating through the wind. You know, like if you're playing the whole Katy Perry line right now, this retrograde is for you. So what do you do? What do you do when Saturn is retrograding? The best thing to do is to restructure your life. Sit down with a notebook and say like, what is my perfect day? And what is my perfect life? Like if I couldn't fail and I had all the money that I needed to accomplish this goal and I had all the support that I needed to accomplish this goal, what would my life actually look like? Right? What would my life look like? What would my everyday look like? What would my relationships look like? What would my health and wellness look like? What would my spiritual practices look like? What would my money look like? And what would the home or the environment that I'm living look like, be like, feel like, smell like, all that? And yeah, this is work. I don't lie to my clients and I don't lie to all the ambitious out there. I tell them like, yo, dog, this is work. Like being amazing and being ambitious and being the head bitch in charge of your magical life is work. Okay. So the first thing, because of the Saturn retrograde, is sit down with a notebook and plan out and restructure your life and get some discipline. If you feel like you have no discipline in your life and you're like really desiring discipline or someone to help you with that, there's coaches. There's all kinds of people. I mean, I'm a coach. You don't have to work with me. You might not vibe with my energy. You might be like, oh, I like her videos, but she's too tough for me and she'll kick my ass. Yes, I will. But get someone to hold you accountable. And stop using your shitty friends and your shitty family to hold you accountable, because I know that they love you, but at the end of the day, they really don't care. And most of your friends and most of your family, they don't actually want you to level up, because if you level up, it's going to trigger them and their not enoughness and their unworthiness, and they don't want to see you actually level up. I know that's a really hard pill to swallow. And I know a lot of people are going to come for me and be like, that's not true. It is. Because if you level up, it's going to make them feel, insecure and not as superior. And a lot of people, they love you just the way that you are in all your mediocrity. So stop relying on your friends and your family to be like your cheerleaders. Get a community of women. I mean, you can go over to the Ambitchious app. It's totally free. You will have the best cheerleaders of your life over there. And they're all like-minded women from all across the globe. Or join Ambitchious Academy. Come to Bitchapalooza. Do something where you're around like-minded people and you start to form new relationships with people who are on your same energetic frequency level. And you'll watch your life go to the next level. You'll watch your life explode. So with this Saturn in retrograde, get your discipline on, restructure your life. And by the time that October comes and goes, you will be a different person. The next is Uranus. Uranus is also retrograde. And Uranus goes retrograde August 24th. And it leaves retrograde on January 23rd, 2023. Okay? What is Uranus all about? So I'm an Aquarius, Uranus, or Uranus, but it's actually Uranus. Uranus is my planet. So it's an Aquarian planet. What is it all about? It's all about rebellion and freedom and just being just like that free spirit that God and the universe placed you here to be. Life is not supposed to be a struggle. You're not supposed to get up every day and be like, oh my God, time to make the donuts. It's like, yeah, are there things in life that's blow and like suck a bag of dicks? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, life is supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be an experience. It's supposed to be God experiencing itself through you. And you're supposed to have joy and freedom and happiness and all the things that you desire. So if you don't have those things, stop blaming everybody else, blame yourself. And use the retrograde of Uranus to sit down and shake things up. Like, again, how do you desire your life to be? I have a little thing in my book all about your perfect day. And I always tell people, you got to name it to claim it. You got to name it to claim it. Like, God is not going to come down from like the heavens and teabag you and say like, oh, I know that you have been deeply desiring this and I'm going to give it to you. No, God gives you free will. So you have to tell the universe and you have to command the universe and all its energies to give you what you desire. And then you have to name it, and then you have to do the things that it takes to reap the rewards of the things that you desire. You know, like Britney Spears says, like, you want a hot body, you want a Bugatti, you want a Maserati, go to work, bitch. Britney's not like, just talk about having a Maserati, just talk about having a hot body, or think about having a Bugatti. You have to say, okay, this is what I desire, this is my goal. And then you have to do the things that it takes to get to this place. Okay? And if you don't know how to achieve goals, stand on the shoulders of giants. Find someone who you look up to energetically. It could be like someone like, oh, I look up to them because they're so wealthy and they have all the freedom that I desire. I don't want their exact life, but I want to learn from them and study them. That's what I've done my whole life. I look at people who I look up to and I study what they do. I don't do what they do. I just study what they do, and then I do those similar things in my own life that pertains to my goals, dreams, aspirations, and desires, right? So using that Uranus retrograde is an amazing time to gain more freedom and to be a little bit more rebellious and to have a little bit more like, you know, free spirit energy and shake things up and be unapologetic for it. Because living an ambitious life is about doing your thing, but being unapologetic for it. Like, stop freaking apologizing for you wanting more. Stop apologizing for you being audacious and having these big audacious dreams and goals. Like, if it's been done before, it can be done again. You know, it's been done before, if it can be done again. And again, stand on the shoulders of giants. Ask someone who you look up to, like, how did you achieve this? Would you help me? Would you mentor me? Would you coach me? Like, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I always tell people, if you're at a crossroads in your life and you're like, okay, how do I get from this point to this point? Hire a coach, because if you hire a really great coach, you can have something that you desire in 1 year, as opposed to doing it on your own that could take 10 years. I have so many clients that come to me from all across the globe, and they're like, I just can't do this on my own anymore. And I'm like, yes, because you're missing A, B, C, and D. Let's just do these things so you can become a 7-figure earner, so you can have the body of your dreams, so you can find the significant other that you deserve, to have the home that you deserve, and the spiritual practices that you deserve, and all of the things that I talk about in Ambitchious. You're your own worst enemy. No one's coming to save you. No one. Zero. Okay? I wish that someone was like, oh my God, Katie, you're having a bad day. Let me help you out. Please. No one really gives a fuck at the end of the day. So stand on the shoulders of giants and use the Uranus energy to really shake up your life and really find the freedom that you desire. Because my number one thing is freedom is my number one core desired feelings. I talk about this a lot in the book. I talk a lot about this in Ambitchious Academy on my podcast, Ambitchious. You have to know what you desire. And for me, my top 5 things that I desire is freedom. So if something is not going to help me feel freedom, I ain't doing it. The next planet that's retrograde in the next couple months is actually Neptune. So Neptune goes retrograde on June 28th, and it stations direct on December 24th. So it's a pretty long retrograde. And the retrogrades all have to do with the track of the planets, like how far away that these specific planets are from the sun, right? So Neptune is all about your ideals and your dreams. So if you have dreams in your life that you are like, I know that this is a dream of mine, and I know that this is what I was put here on this earth to do. I know that this is part of my purpose. I know that this is part of my mission. And you're not stepping into that power, again, it's no one's fault except your own. You have to, as an ambitious woman or man, you have to take radical responsibility for your life. And so many of us, again, are waiting for someone to come along and like help them with their dreams. But it's like, you have to ask for help. You have to be open to be helped. And you have to really say to yourself, I don't care come hell or high water. I'm doing this. I'm achieving this. I'm accomplishing this. And you have to stick to it. But you have to know what you desire. You have to know what your dreams, goals, and aspirations are. I did 10 hours of healing sessions yesterday, which honestly, everyone's like, aren't you tired? I'm like, no, it was like glorious for me. It's like my jam. I love doing stuff like that. And everyone that I did healing sessions with yesterday, I'd ask them, okay, like, what is your perfect day? Like, what is your goals? What are your dreams? And literally everybody would look at me and like, if you ask me right now what my dreams, goals, and aspirations are, I can rattle them off with a snap of a finger, because this is what I work with. And listen, guys, I hate to be cliche, but like, this is your life. This is not a motherfucking dress rehearsal. So if you are not happy, if you feel depressed, if you feel anxious, if you feel any of like the adverse ways that humans feel, it's time to wake the fuck up and realize that you have to plant your feet in the ground, and you have to say, I don't care what I have to do to accomplish this goal, but I will accomplish it. I do not care. Because again, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is your actual life. So if you're waking up every day and you're getting up and you're going to your shitty job and you're living your shitty life and you're having shitty health and you have no divine connection to source energy and you have shitty relationships and you're a broke ass hoe and your house looks like a fucking episode of Hoarders, guess what? Not anyone's fault except your own. Stop making excuses. Use this Neptune energy to write down, like, what is your ideal life? What is your perfect day? What is your ideal health? What is your ideal relationships? What is your ideal spiritual practices? What does your ideal home and environment look like? What are your boundaries if you were like living your highest self? And again, what kind of money do you have? What kind of abundance and wealth do you have? Name it to claim it. Name it to claim it. Okay? Again, the universe is very mighty, but it is not a mind reader. You got to say it. You got to command it, and you got to let it out. And last but not least, the last of the retrograding planets is Pluto. Okay? So Pluto's this little tiny planet, and people don't think it has a lot of weight to it, but it's actually a very weighty planet when it comes to astrology and when it comes definitely to anything retrograding. Okay? So Pluto is all, and let me tell you, I know y'all are feeling it because I'm fucking feeling it right now. Pluto is going to be retrograde. It actually is already in retrograde. So Pluto has been retrograding since April 29th, and it's retrograding until October 28th. So again, a pretty long retrograde. Do you see like how all these energies are really like shaping the way that we all feel right now in this world that we're living in? Yes. What is Pluto all about? What are the energies that Pluto holds? Guess what? It's all about transformation and death and rebirth. We have to let the old us die so that the new us can be reborn. And so many of y'all are hanging on to the old corpses of who you were instead of stepping up into the new you, the higher you that you should be. Okay? Did you ever watch that movie Christmas Carol? Even if it's like the Mickey Mouse version, right? And Jacob Marley comes during that night to visit Scrooge. Maybe McDuck, if that's the one you watch, which I don't hate that. I love me a Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol. But remember, Jacob Marley comes and you hear him dragging like all his chains and all his like lock boxes and all like, and his head is like tied on with like a bow to keep his like jar on, right? And he's like, Scrooge, don't do what I did. And he's warning Scrooge, right? Well, guess what? A lot of y'all are motherfucking Jacob Marley. Okay? And you're just dragging all the old you, the corpses and the weight and the heaviness and the baggage with you. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know why my life sucks. And I'm like, because you're motherfucking Jacob Marley? Cut the cords. Cut the frickin' chains, like let it go. And this is the best time to do this is while Pluto is in retrograde. So if you think about Mercury being in retrograde, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in the next year, dude, if you just listen to me and you just hear what I'm really saying and you put the things into play by listening to my podcast, by reading my book, by joining a program like Ambitchious Academy, by coming to an event, by whatever, even just joining my app, which is totally free, by the way, don't you think that you could be an entirely different person by the end of 2022? 100%. If you use the energies that I just talked about, okay? So I'm going to share this video, and if you think that this video is going to inspire or maybe, give some education, some empowerment or some entertainment to someone that you love that maybe needs a good kick in the fucking arse, please feel free to share this on your stories, text it to a friend, send it in a smoke signal, put it on a carrier pigeon's little claw, whatever y'all do. And spread the love, because Ambitchious is a movement. And the more women that wake up all across the globe and step into their power, the world will just be a more incredible place. You know, everybody thinks about changing the world, but they don't think about changing themselves. And changing yourself is really about using all of the Ambitchious precepts and principles and all the things that I come here and share every day. I don't get paid for this. I mean, I could be doing other things. But I know that my mission and purpose here on earth is to help awaken as many people and plant the seeds in as many women as I can to help them step into their power and remember that they are the HBICs, the head bitches in charge of their magical life. And if your life is not where you desire it to be, it's no one else's fault. Take radical responsibility for where you are and step the fuck up. And if you feel like you need help, ask for help. Ask for help, because ain't no one gonna help you unless you ask, okay? So I'm gonna share this. I hope that it inspired you, but how amazing would it be if you actually really truly listened to me and you really used all of the retrogrades that are either happening now or going to be coming up in the next couple of months to really shape and up-level your life. In the meantime, Bitchapalooza, which is happening January 6th, 7th, and 8th of 2023, is going on sale for 48 hours, June 6th through the 8th. And once it's sold out, there's 40 tickets. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. And I don't know when I'm going to be doing another one, if I'm even going to be doing another one. I mean, next year I could be living in a different country. My hair could be purple. I have no idea. You know me. I'm Katie motherfucking Boyd. Every day is a winding road. You know what I'm saying? Life is a highway. All right, I love you guys. Have an amazing day. I'm going to have lunch with a friend today, and then I have some paperwork to do. And I'm just going to be getting ready for our big launch that happens this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for Bitchapalooza. And I'm just going to go over onto the Ambitchious app and talk to all my chicas from all around the world, all of my HBICs who have, you know, really taken the steps and have the courage to really step into their power and remember who the fuck they are and why they are here. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. And don't forget about what I said. Stay ambitious. Mwah. Bye.